Hello. Welcome to September 1st. I just can't believe summer's pretty much over. Although, if Labor Day isn't until next week, I guess that means summer is a little longer, but not exactly, right? Doesn't it feel a little bit fallish lately? So, welcome. So, today we're back to mini healings. So, we're going to be doing some individual healing. We will be doing some group healing with the Healing Pulse. And we'll end with aura strengthening. So, pretty much the same as we do almost every month on the 1st. So, last month we did a few extras experimenting with the Healing Pulse. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. I'm looking at my stats. Sort of something funky is going on. Can you hear me? Do you want to put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me? Just because I'm watching my numbers and all of a sudden things just dropped, which has happened before when there's a tech issue. Okay, so you guys can hear me. Cool. Okay, so now I jump back up. So weird glitchy things, but that is not unusual. So welcome. So in about 3 minutes, we will start with our first healing pulse. How's everybody doing tonight? Got a lot of familiar names. So glad to see that. Sort of fabulous. My little dogs are running in and out. So they will probably make an appearance at some point. So think about what you want to work on tonight, both for trapped emotions and then also think about for the Healing Pulse, where would you best be served to send the energy? Fabulous. So another couple minutes. So with the Healing Pulse, as I said, so this month I did a show only on Facebook because I've been having some technical issues with Facebook, and my paid streaming service had updated some things. So they said, okay, go ahead, try it. And so that worked. And then I also did another another group thing with Facebook and YouTube, sort of experimenting with the Healing Pulse. Oh, okay. So Lily's got sciatica, love sign. And that sounds familiar. Was that last month? No. No, so it must have been someone else, but that does sound familiar. All right, so Anne Marie wants to work on resilience and courage. I like that for you, Anne Marie. So resilience and courage. Vibing life. hear dogs barking. They're outside getting into trouble. So Vibing Life wants to work on reduce swelling and pain for both feet and legs. Valerie wants to work on digestive issues. Jenny, motivation and confidence. All right, so I think, let me just go through and just make sure. That I didn't miss anybody. Okay, so let's start with our first healing pulse. So think about, where do you want to receive the energy? Where would be most helpful? So especially those of you with physical things going on. Lily's got sciatica. Anne Marie wants to work on resilience and courage. Where does that live within you, Anne Marie? Is it a mental thing, or do you feel it somewhere in your body? Vibing Life, you want to reduce swelling and pain in your feet and legs. So if you can't physically reach your feet and your legs, imagine you can. Feller's got digestive issues. And Jenny, motivation and confidence. So Jenny also, similar to Anne Marie, where does that live within you? Where do you need strength within that? So, and those of you who just came in, think about where you want to send the healing pulse. So I want you to rub your hands together, place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. Imagine my hands on yours. And just breathe that energy in. Allow it to flow. With each breath in, you are allowing the healing to go a little deeper. With each breath out, you are releasing. Just breathe that in. Okay, so that was our first healing pulse. Let me know how you did. Oftentimes with the healing pulse, it starts a little slow, but it builds. Okay, so currently I've got Lily, Anne Marie, Vibing Life, Valerie, and Jenny. And now I know a few of you have come in and posted. All right, so Denise M, Madeline needs good vibes for heart valve issue. So that's definitely something that the healing pulse is good with. So I'm going to also look and see if there's a trapped emotion that is contributing to that. And Denise R is the endocrine system. All right, Colette. Mold spores due to rain is in the air. Got an air filter, but still have symptoms when she's home. So respiratory, somewhat feverish, and aches. So I will put mold in the air, but I'll also put how body responds to mold. Let's see what's most helpful. That sounds sort of miserable, though. I'm sorry. All right, so Amy, sleep and anxiety. Okay, so I think I've got everybody. So I've got Lily, Emery, Vibing Life, Valerie, Jenny, Denise, Medellin, Denise R, Colette, and Amy. So if I missed you, please just put it in the comments again for me. And we're going to start with Lily first. So let me grab my list. Oh, shoot, I did not bring my second list. So let me just get my little sheets organized. Usually I've got the positive emotions printed out so I don't have to flip back and forth, but I did not bring that. So I'll just flip back and forth. Okay, so Lily, I'm getting panic around age 7. So ages are the hardest thing, especially when you're so little. So 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there, panic. And so also, especially with someone so young, sometimes the energies that we take on at that age are actually someone else's, someone close, parents, siblings, other family, close friends. So I don't know if you have any recollections of about that age, but even if it was someone else's, that energy is with you today. Or X, I'm not really getting it's yours. So I don't know if something was going on and you felt that, but so we're going to release that. And for those of you who have healing in your background, you sort of know what to do with releasing. But if you don't have that healing in your background, there are a number of ways that you can assist, because I always think it's more powerful if we do this together. So even just say a prayer or a wish, I want to release the energies of the trapped emotions of panic. That would be just the easiest thing. So we're going to release and remove panic. And then there's something about the energy of being focused, Lily. So I don't know if something has distracted you that has taken your thoughts away from the things that are important, but I want you to really focus on being focused. So we're going to reinforce being focused. All right. And then Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie wants to work on resilience and courage. So let's see what can help strengthen that. I can hear little dogs barking outside, which is not good. That means somebody's sort of messing with them. Or there's another dog walking by. All right, I just need one more thing for Anne-Marie. Just need to get an age. Okay, so I'm adding Angel Knight. Or should I say, I always say Angel Knight, but it's Angel in Light. So that's me skimming and doing things quickly. Help with inflammation, lower legs and ankles. And then Jeffrey, legs, Tug of Light. And then Wesley. So you both have coughs. He has conjunctivitis, so we'll see which is more important. Walter has infected gum and jaw. Not good. Bottom front. Due to grinding. So I'm going to put both of those down. And then Paul has back issues. Okay, going back to Anne-Marie. So Anne-Marie, I'm getting terror around age 28. So 27, 28, 29. Now, terror, I always put sort of this disclaimer because sometimes it's sort of extreme because terror is sometimes like horror movie terror. But there is a part of me that also thinks terror is a very short, extremely intense sense of terror. And sort of like, something that you get extremely freaked out about. And then it either relaxes or something shifts and changes. And so just know that terror can run the gamut. So we're going to release that. And then we're going to add the energy of being kind. And usually when this comes up, it's because we're not very kind to ourselves sometimes. And so I want you to be extra good to yourself, Anne-Marie, and try to give yourself a break. So let's release the energy of terror for Anne-Marie. And then we're going to instill that energy of kindness, especially when it comes to yourself. Okay, vibing life. Vibing life wants to work on reducing swelling and pain for feet and legs. So let's see what comes up for that. All right, so just need to get one more thing. Okay, so with vibing life, I'm getting the energy of overwhelm around age 19. So 18, 19, 20. Excuse me. And then, so we're going to release that. And I get the energy of learning. So it's a positive replacement. So it sort of makes me wonder, is there something that you need to learn or work on or be open to that allows you not to be overwhelmed? Because even though this is a trapped emotion from 19, I think there are times you still feel overwhelmed. But let's go ahead and release this. So release the energy of overwhelm. Thank you for confirming. Yeah, because oftentimes when we have a trapped emotion, even though I give you a date in the past, oftentimes you still feel, if not a lot, occasionally you feel those energies. So we're going to release that. Well, I'm hoping that can drop things down so that it's not so high, that it's more neutral. Okay, so next we've got Valerie. Valerie's having some tummy issues. So let's see what comes up for that. You are welcome, Vibing. Thank you for the feedback. Okay. Valerie, this is very interesting. Let me get an age for you. All right. So, Valerie, love unreceived from around age 24. So, 23, 24, 25. And so, usually I try and tie in what we release with what we need to instill. And so, the energy that we're going to instill in you is just being excited. So when I go back to thinking love unreceived and then something to be excited about, it makes me wonder, is there something new about love? And I am not psychic, But as I said, I like to pair today and the positive with what we released. And so if we're releasing love unreceived, and then we're adding something to be excited about, it does make me wonder. So we're going to release and remove love unreceived. And we're going to instill being excited. So Tug, thank you for explaining more with what's going on with Walter. Very interesting timing, Valerie. So you'll have to let me know what you come up with. Okay, so we're going to do Jenny, and then we're going to do the healing pulse. And so Jenny wants to work on motivation and confidence. So we're going to look for a trapped emotion that is taken away from that. So that will automatically help increase motivation and confidence. Okay. I like this one for you, Jenny. So we're going to remove the energy of being forlorn around age 23. So 22, 23, 24. And when I think of forlorn, I think of someone, sort of sad and lonely. And your reason for asking this is you want to increase motivation and confidence. But then also, we are instilling the energy of achieving, which I love how that all fits together. Because releasing forlorn, I think, makes you stronger and more confident. And then we're going to add achieving, and that will help also increase your motivation and confidence. So releasing forlorn and instilling achieving. I like how that one fit together. I wish they all fit together quite as nicely. All right, so when we come back, the next three on the list are Denise Medellin, Denise R., and Colette. So let's do our second healing pulse. And so especially, there's a lot of you here with physical issues tonight. So just keep in mind, if you can't touch where you're having issues, like Paul's got some back issues, if you can't touch where you've got back problems, imagine you can. All right, so let's think about where you're going to send the energy. I want you to rub your hands together and place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. And just allow those energies to flow. And just breathe that in. Remember, the deeper the healing, the deeper the breathing, the deeper the healing. And then as you release, you are letting go. So just breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, so that was Healing Pulse number 2. So coming back, we've got Denise Medellin, Denise R, and Colette. And so Denise wants to work good vibes for a heart valve issue. So let's see if there's a trapped emotion that could make things even better. And I do get there is. So let's see what that is. All right, so Denise. So this is Denise Medellin. I think I'm saying that right, but if it's not quite right, I think I'm close. Let me know. All right, and we're not doing good luck, bad luck tonight. We've got that's a busy night. So, Denise, so the trapped emotion we're going to release is stubbornness from around age 28. So, 27, 28, 29. So, we're going to release that. So, I don't know if around that time there was something that you just sort of dug your heels in and were very determined about something. So, you'll have to see if you remember. And then the positive is the energy of euphoric. And I really like that, especially when you think about euphoria and where you feel it. I think a lot of people feel that in their heart. And what a good place to feel joy. So we're going to release and remove stubbornness. And we're going to instill that energy of euphoric, which is wonderful. Okay. Denise, I'm glad that makes sense. So we've got Denise R next, and she wants to work on her endocrine system. So let's see what comes up for her. So just one moment. Just need to get the positive for Denise R. Oh, I like this one. All right, so Denise R, I'm getting taken for granted around age 19. So 18, 19, 20, something there that you felt you were taken for granted. And now we're going to add the energy of being exceptional. And I just think especially when you're working on the challenges of an endocrine system that is not doing quite what you and the doctors want or need it to do. So we're going to have your body respond in just an exceptional way. So let's release taken for granted. And then we're going to instill that your body responds in an exceptional way. I sort of like that. All right, so the next three, we've got Colette, Amy, and Angel Knight. All right, so Colette, she's got mold in the air from all the rain, and her body is also responding in a way that makes her a little miserable. Oh, Denise just said so because she had it taken for granted around age 19, and she's like, my thyroid started acting up around that age. Oh, I love that too, Denise. So I'm hoping that releasing this layer of trapped emotions makes a difference. Oftentimes, when we have physical things going on, it's not just one thing, but I'm really hoping that the one thing drops things a little bit and gives you more time and excitement that you can make changes. So, all right, so let's see with Colette, because I did say we're going to see if we can work on, so we need to work on how our body responds to the mold. Let's see, and something that will make her body stronger. You are very welcome, Denise R. That is, love that feedback. That is so fun. Okay. So, Colette, I'm finding the energy of worthless around age 28. And so that's 27, 28, 29. So we're going to release that. And then I've got the energy of delighted. And so I take this to be a positive look into the near future where your body is responding in a really positive way to the mold. So you're very delighted. So let's release the energy of worthless, because somehow that's playing a role in how your body responds. And then we're going to instill the energy of delighted. Okay, so we've got Amy, sleep and anxiety, and let's see what comes up with that. on here. Let's see. All right. So, Amy, I'm getting the energy of worthless at age 19. So, somewhere 18, 19, 20. So, we're going to release that. And then the word that came up with that really reverses the energy of worthless because it's being exceptional. We've had that word before, but I think it's really a wonderful word. So releasing worthless and instilling exceptional. Okay. And so there's some questions about, so Tug does this thing with her kids where they sort of check in about the good luck, bad luck. And part of about this is intention and mind over matter. And so when Tug wrote, I say out loud, good luck button on, she slaps her right thigh, bad luck button off, she slaps her left thigh and adds a bubble of protection, go. And her kids do it with her. She does it for her hubby. And so part of it is finding what works for you. And I love that Tug has brought this into her kids' life to give them more power and control. So this week my bad luck button was on. It's supposed to be off. So a couple things happened during the day and I checked in, and just the power of intention and the awareness can help flip it, because that's all I'm doing for you guys is when someone's flipped, I just set the intention and take away the energy. And so part of it is giving yourself the power to set your intentions and the awareness of when things are not always good. Now, I think with Tug, they do that all the time, so they don't even have to check in to see where they're at because they keep resetting every day. All right, so let me go back because I think I missed. So, and even with the awareness, not always, how should I put this? We can't always keep unexpected issues away. So I'm sorry about your trip, Tug. So, all right, so Angel Knight is next. So she wants to work on inflammation in her lower legs and ankles. So let's see what's contributing to that. All right, so Angel Knight. So I'm getting that what we're going to release is unsupported around age 23. The interesting thing is your positive word is dependable. And so with unsupported, it means that something around you wasn't dependable. Because sometimes it's family, friends, sometimes it's bosses, sometimes it's the universe that you don't feel supported by. And so we're going to release that trapped emotion and we're going to instill the energy of dependable. And so with this, you can depend. We're going to instill that at the root of all this is you can depend on yourself, but I'm hoping that you can also expand that and know who else you can depend on. So let's release unsupported, and then we are going to instill dependable. And so we're going to do our third and final healing pulse. When we come back, we've got Jeffrey, Tug of Light, Wesley, Walter, and Paul. All right, so for this third and final healing pulse, think about where you want to send the energy. You don't have to keep sending it to the same place, because especially sometimes if you're working with pain and discomfort, sometimes that moves. Or maybe things get better and you've got another place that you didn't realize hurt because the original place was making so much noise that you didn't know that something else hurt. So think about where you want to put your hands. Rub your hands together. All right, and place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. Imagine my hands on yours and just be open and allowing the healing to flow. So especially on this third time, I know my hands are extra tingly. I know some people feel tingles, some people feel heat. Some people don't really feel it at all. And that's me sometimes. So if you don't feel it, that's okay. Not everybody feels exactly the same. So just breathe that in. Okay, and Valer's already feeling the effects. So she's got just wrote big yawns in the comments. So she's releasing energy so the healing can go deeper. So just allow that energy to flow. Okay, next we've got Jeffrey. So Jeffrey wants to work on his legs. Let's see what comes up for that. All right, so Jeffrey's got his emotion. Let me get his positive. Oh, and there's Giovanna. Yes, skidding right in. You've got perfect timing. All right, so Jeffrey, let me get an age for this. So Jeffrey, this was from when you were about 18. So 17, 18, 19. And it's the energy of peeved. And I don't know why, but I like to say peeved. So there was something that you were extremely peeved. So I think we need to take away the energy and we need to instill within you the energy of just being fantastic. And so let's release peeved. Very different feeling. Peeved to fantastic. I like that. Okay. So Tug. Tug and family has had some coughs. But this is specifically for Tug. So I'm getting just gonna age for Tug. All right, I like this for you, Tug. All right, so I'm getting taken for granted around age 28. So 27, 28, 29. And so we're going to take away that energy and we're going to instill within you faith. And I think your faith is high, but I think sometimes it's hard. And so I'm hoping that this helps make things easier. So releasing, removing, taken for granted. And then instilling faith. All right, so let me just see. Oh, here's a comment from Tug about the healing pulse. So she's been working on her left shoulder, started itching. Not an issue currently, but that last pulse started itching. Interesting though. 'Cause it's almost like it wanted you to bring your awareness to that left shoulder. Oh, Wesley turned 7. Oh. All right, so let's see what we're going to work on Wesley. We're going to work on the conjunctivitis. All right, so with Wesley, I mean, because he's so little, I'm getting vulnerability around age 5. So I don't know if there's something going on with him or something going on with the people around him when he was 5. And it's that energy of vulnerability. So we're going to take that out and just find the positive. This is interesting. So I got the positive energy of being helpful. So I'm just going to trust that releasing vulnerability from Leslie around age 5 is helpful. And so we're going to actually strengthen that. So releasing and removing vulnerability and strengthening the energy of it being helpful. Okay, so next. So Walter's got some infected gums from grinding his teeth. So do we work on the infection? We work on the grinding. We're going to work on the grinding. I think did we do that last time, Tug, or was that the time before? So I know we've occasionally worked on that, but I know with the seriousness of it, he's got multiple things going on. So let's see what this layer brings up. And I'm just going to see what came up before. Okay, so I'm hoping, I always hope these help all of you. All right, so with Walter, I'm getting abandonment around age 9. So some are 8, 9, 10. And so, as an adult, at his mom, you can look back and think, oh, I don't really remember. Or maybe you do. But sometimes abandonment is different for kids, or it's maybe something you weren't even aware of. But we're going to take that out, regardless of what it was. Yep, we did that in August. Stubbornness and unbiased. But so we're going to remove abandonment. And then I got the energy of adored. But think about it. If someone has the energy of abandonment, they don't feel adored. So we're going to take out the abandonment and we're going to just fill them up with being adored and just loved, filling them up to the top. So let's release and remove the energy of abandonment. And we're going to just fill him up with just being adored. And he might say, oh, yuck, Mom. But how wonderful is that? Okay. Next, I've got Paul and Giovanna. I don't see, did you put something in? Oh, Tug, that's it. Oh, that's too bad. And sadly, the really younger kids that lose a loved one, the really little ones oftentimes can see the spirit. But at 9, he probably had outgrown that. So he probably just felt really alone. Oh, but it's good that we're doing this now and releasing that. Okay, so Paul's got some back issues. So let's look for the underlying reason for that. All right, so this is sort of interesting. And Angel Knight, this involves you too. So Paul got the trapped emotion of unsupported, but for Paul, it was inherited. And with inherited trapped emotions, you have the potential of passing these down to your loved ones. Oftentimes, not every person is affected, but some. And tonight, Angel Knight, who is Paul's daughter, had unsupported, which means you got unsupported from your dad and you also attract unsupported on your own. So this will be really good to release from Paul and his entire lineage because it will help you, Angel Knight. It will help Paul. Does Jeffrey have this too? Jeffrey has it too. So we're going to release and remove that. And I just need to see what I'm replacing it with. Ooh, I got the word important. This is important. I like that. All right, so releasing unsupported and increasing and instilling the word important because it's important that Paul is supported. So Tug just posted about her dad. Oh, that's just heartbreaking, Tug. So that is definitely playing a role in what's going on with him. Wow. Interesting. So I think I got everybody. So if I did not, now's your time to, if you've been just hanging out, just watching, which is fine. But if you need to post something, now is the time because we are starting our final little exercise for tonight. So we are doing aura strengthening. And so we're going to strengthen the aura But we're also going to fill up your aura. So think about things that you need. So it's getting late, and I'm not going to do good luck, bad luck tonight. So think about the positive. So tonight we had focused, kind, learning, excited, achieving, euphoric, exceptional, delighted, exceptional, dependable, fantastic, faith, helpful, adored, and important. And so think about, as you are strengthening your aura, what do you want to put in with you? And especially those of you who are focusing on the positives, like Anne-Marie, fill up that bubble around you with resilience and courage. Jenny, fill it up with motivation and confidence. And so I want you to rub your hands together and then place your hands and just start beaming, and just imagine that aura wall is just thicker and more protective, and allowing love, light, and healing to get in, but helping repel negativity. And so just imagine that your bubble is just filling up with good stuff. Open and allowing for all the good stuff to come to you. And so that is the end of our evening. So I'm not sure if I will be doing another bonus session this month. I've got a super busy month. I will post on Facebook or YouTube if anything gets scheduled. If you really need something, sign up for a session. This is called, you would sign up for like an integrative healing session, or sign up for a why session, which is where I would put you under hypnosis and we ask some why questions. But I appreciate you all being here tonight. Would you believe tonight was show number 199? And so my 200th show, I don't know what I'm going to do. I should probably do something special. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Oh, and there's Tug. Wow. Crazy busy, Tug. You are so very welcome, Anne-Marie. I hope everyone has a fabulous night. And I really do hope that tonight helped, that you spent your time with me and did some healing. So have a fabulous evening. And if I don't see you sooner, I will see everyone October 1st. Crazy. Oh, wait a minute here. Colette. So Colette, I don't think I missed you, but let's just do it. So we're releasing Worthless. We're on 28. And once released, we're going to fill that up with Being Delighted. Okay. And on that note, have a fabulous evening. Bye.